Hey, Mannix Golfer here, and making a video showing a comparison between the options for the 910H Hybrid. I want to show you guys what I did in order to fit my game. First and foremost, the Titleist website has these charts that a lot of you guys should be somewhat familiar with if you haven't seen them. Titleist.com. What this is it shows a chart of spin versus launch, and they separate the charts for hybrid shafts, iron shafts, and driver and fairway shafts. So when I was purchasing my 910, I wanted to get the right shaft for my game, and I'm going to use my hybrid 17 degree as more of my only fairway wood, so I wanted something that was low launching and low spinning, that I could hit off the tee in windy conditions. Also something that has enough spin, and this is why I chose the hybrid over a 3-wood, to rest on the green. So I was looking for a shaft in this quadrant. Alright, after zooming into the quadrant, we're looking at it on my computer now. I had to get rid of the shafts that I wanted to move away from right away. So first thing I moved away from was anything that was steel. So Project X, the Dynamic Gold, and the KBS Tour. A lot of you guys know I use the KBS Tour C-Taper, but as far as a hybrid goes, I was going to get that out of the way. So the other thing to notice is there is one shaft here that is in the general region that's a stock shaft. That means zero upcharge. All the ones that are in black will have some sort of upcharge to them. So I knew I'd be able to test the Titleist Ahina 90 hybrid shaft as a demo, but I knew that I was not going to be able to test in the other ones. So I took the 5 that seemed the most interesting and did some research. So I took the Speeder 904, the Motoria F3, the Rombax 8D07HB, and the Tour AD YSQ. That's a graphic design. So those were the 5 that I researched extensively. Alright, so I made a chart of the 5 golf shafts I talked about, including the Adola Voodoo NV8 hybrid shaft. This includes the name, price, launch, spin, torque, weight, kick point, manufacturer's description, looks, my personal score 1 through 5, 1 being the best, and comments by people that actually use these golf shafts on the course. A lot of these are online reviews posted by consumers. First shaft is the Fujikura Speeder 904HB. It's a $75 upcharge. 1 and 1 stands for lowest launching and lowest spin. 1.9 torque, 98 grams, high kick point. There's the manufacturer's description. You can pause the video to read that. Here's what it looks like. Score was 3 out of 5. It's definitely the lowest launching and lowest spinning shaft. It's used by Titleist touring pros. I guess the main issue with this shaft is a lot of reviewers said the shaft was too stout for their swing speed, and so that kind of drove me away from it. The Fujikura Motori F3 95HB has a $19 upcharge. It's second in both spin and launch. 2.5 torque, 95 grams, mid kick point shaft. Here's the manufacturer's description. Here's what it looks like. And this shaft ranked 5, which means it was the worst rank out of all of them. The Titleist chart shows it to be lower spinning and low trajectory, but a lot of reviewers said this is F3 is meant for the weaker players. They have another model, the F1, that's for stronger players. players said that the feel of the shaft was very poor, felt like a wet noodle. That's what they said. So it was interesting to see how bad the reviews were and how good it performed on the Titleist chart. Next is the Fujikura Ranbax 8D07HB, $75 upcharge. It's third in launch and tied for second in spin. 2.3 torque, 93 grams, mid to high kick point. Here's the manufacturer's description. Here's what it looks like. This one ranked number 1 overall. It's a medium weight shaft with enhanced feel. A lot of reviewers did compliment the feel of this shaft and also said it was an anti-left golf shaft, which means it prevents hooking. For me, it'd be an anti-right because I'm left-handed. So the weave also produces better shot dispersion. Next is the Graphite Design Tour AD YSQ85 Hybrid Shaft, $19 upcharge. It has a 5 launch with a 4 spin. The launch jumped up to 5 because there was a definite distance that was on the Titleist chart for the launch of this shaft. It's a lot higher launching. 2.6 torque, 87 grams, mid kick point shaft. Here's the manufacturer's description. Here's what it looks like. This one ranks second overall. It's an interesting design. I like the 4-axis weave, which you know, when you're trying to put the Titleist club into different settings with the SureFit, the spine alignment of the shaft seems to get messed up. Well, with this 4-axis weave, the spine alignment has less of an effect because of the weave of the shaft. It also is a very popular shaft on the nationwide tour. More of a mid-launching shaft than a low-launching shaft was what players were saying. Next is the Adilla Voodoo NV8 Hybrid Shaft, $19 upcharge. It's the highest launching shaft out of all of them, but has a 3 in the spin, so high launching but lower spin. 2.4 torque, 90 grams, mid kick point. Here's the manufacturer's description. Here's what it looks like. This one ranked 4th out of 5. I really didn't like the look of this shaft. It was hard to find information. Not a lot of consumers are ready to write good things or bad things about this shaft. So it was really tough to find reviews on it. I just really didn't like the looks of this shaft, and it drove me away early on once I started to do research on it just based on the looks. So some of you guys won't agree with that, but that was my opinion. Alright, so the club and the shafts came in. First of all, I had to get the tool to unscrew the shafts. Since I didn't get a 910 D2 or D3, I had to order the tool separately in order to unscrew the shafts from the club head and screw it back in. I got my white and black multi-compound on these newer shafts, and the two that I went out and got were the Ranbax 8D07 HB by Fujikura and the Tour AD YSQ by Graphite Design. So we're going to test that against the stock shafts, the Hina and the Cali made by Titleist, and put it on the launch monitor. Solo.